Hi there, my name's April Sawtelle and welcome to my channel. Today what I'm going to be doing is just showing you how to cut strips out of fabric. So they're going to be long strips, they're going to be the whole width of the fabric. I'm going to cut them down to 2.5 inches. That's about the size of a jelly roll. So the jelly rolls are 2.5 inches wide. They're fun to work with. You can make your own right here. All you're going to need is an acrylic ruler, a rotary cutter, and you're going to need a self-healing mat, and you're going to need some fabric. So I just want to show you that I have a large self-healing mat down here, but I want to use my smaller one, and the reason is I want to be able to turn this so I don't have to move my fabric. I'll show you what I mean. So to get started, my fabric here is longer than my ruler. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to fold this in half. Now, I've just opened up my fabric. I've got two pieces here because it's folded in half right off the bolt. The selvage is up at the top. The fold is going to be down at the bottom. I'm just going to fold this up in half, and I'm just going to lay it flat. I'm going to push it as flat as I can get it. And that fold down here, you can see here, there's the selvage edges, and then I've got this is the original fold, and now I've just created another fold. But that's okay because I'm just gonna buzz right through that. So I'm gonna take my acrylic ruler. Now what's happened though, I'm going through 4 layers. You can see here. I'm gonna go through 4 layers, but it's still only gonna give me 1 strip. It's just because it's folded in half, and my ruler wasn't long enough to go the whole length. So this is how I do it. So you take your acrylic ruler, and all you're going to do is lay it on your fabric, and you're going to go with one of your folds here. You're going to match that up perfectly straight. All we're doing right now is just cleaning up this edge. You get your ruler perfectly straight with these lines, and what we're going to do, I'm gonna zip up and take that little sliver off. That way I know I'm perfectly straight. Okay, now I've got all 4 pieces off there. Instead of moving my fabric and spinning it, I'm gonna spin this little mat. That way I'm sure to keep nice and straight. I'm going to take my ruler, and I'm right-handed, so my ruler's I've got to cut with my right hand, so I've got to work towards my left. I'm going to line my ruler up. My strips are going to be at 2.5 inches. So you're just going to line your ruler up, and you want your 2.5 inch mark right on the edge of your fabric. Now you know you've got a nice straight line there because we just trimmed it up. You're going to want to take and square it right down at the bottom. You're going to follow that line right up. Now you want that line right just a smidge, so you know that fabric is underneath it, that you're not just in air there. Okay, so now I can tell I am perfectly square. I can read my mark that I'm at 2.5 inches. You always want to double check. The rule is to count twice and measure twice and cut once. Okay, then you're going to take your rotary cutter, and you're going to hold your hand firmly on your ruler. You're going to go a little ways, and you're going to bring your hand up. And you just want to keep bringing your hand up so you've got that firm grip. Okay? My rotary cutter shuts by itself because it's a push down kind. If you have a rotary cutter that doesn't, you always want to shut the blade before you set it down all the time. You never want to just have a rotary blade just laying around because it's just so easy to get cut on it. Okay, now what we've got is a width of fabric, 2.5 inch strip. Now we're going to keep doing that, and we're going to come up with a nice little pile. All right, now let's just say I want to make a bunch of these with this color. So let's just say I'll make 4 of these. I'm going to go back. I know I'm perfectly straight still because I didn't move my fabric. So I'm just going to line everything up again. I'm going to count 1, 2 and a half. I'm a smidge. I can see that I'm right on top of that fabric. I know it. I know I'm not in air on that left side of the ruler. I can see that little sliver right there. And I'm squared. I'm just going to continue to cut. I'm going to hold, push down firmly, go a little ways, push down firmly, go a little ways, bring my hand up and continue. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring my ruler, I'm going to pull this little sliver over, I'm going to go back down and I'm just going to continue 2.5 inches. Now by not moving the piece of fabric that's on this small mat, I know I'm perfectly straight. Follow again, 2.5, right down, make sure I see that smidge of fabric below that line. Just, it's almost like you got to stand sideways to see that it's there. You just don't want it in the air. This is going to give you perfectly straight strips. Okay, so I've got 1, 2.5, and here I go again. Whoops, I just need to bring that down. Perfect. Okay, bring my hand up. Make sure you've got that firm pressure on top of your ruler so nothing is shifting. Again, move that over. Now, you just keep going. So you can do this all day. You can just keep cutting fabric. You can actually make your own jelly rolls this way. So if you weren't busy sewing and you wanted to just cut up a bunch of fabric to get prepared for the next project, it's a lot of fun cutting them out and getting all those colors coordinated. Okay, so here we go again. Got it squared off. I've got my 2.5. I've counted twice. I've got my rotary, firm grip on my ruler, and up I go. Okay, now, so that was going through 4 layers of fabric. Okay, I have no problem going through that. If you have a nice new rotary blade on there, you'll have no issues. Some people don't like to. Some people really will only go through 1 or 2 layers at a time, and that's fine too. Everybody has their preference. I'm just very quick and like to make it happen fast. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go and I'm going to lay down 3 different fabrics. They're all folded. All their salvages are up to the top. And I'm going to lay down 3 different pieces. Now, that means I'm going through 6 layers here. But that's okay. I have no problem. I've got a brand new blade on my rotary cutter. I feel very confident that it's going to make a nice straight line. Now, the problem is, so my ruler fits. I can do that no problem. But now this mat that I didn't want to spin my fabric once I got going, I didn't want to have to spin it. It's okay too, because all I've got to do is turn this mat, because it's a rectangle, so I can just slide that back under there and I can spin it the other way. And now what I can do, I can clean off my edges. I've got six pieces of fabric here, three different colors, but 6 pieces because they're folded in half. I'm going to take my ruler and I'm going to get as close as I can just for no waste, but I've got to make sure that I take a bite out of every one of those to make sure I'm perfectly straight. My folds are all lined up here on the bottom. I'm just going to take my ruler and I am going to, I'm not basing it off any of the mats, I'm basing it off the ruler. My ruler line tells me I'm straight. My folds are telling me I'm straight. I'm just going to go right there and I'm going to cut that right off. Now again, I'm pushing firmly, and I'm bringing my fingers up on my ruler to have that pressure. And this is what I'm taking off. Now, I can see there's all the fabrics are there. Now, what could happen if you're not out enough, if you didn't take it in enough and make that cut, you could find that there's one little one stuck in there. So you won't have that nice straight line. So always check that. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take all these fabrics and I'm going to fold them onto my mat. Okay, and then I'm just going to spin my mat. Now I haven't moved my fabric, so now I should be able to just start right back in. Around. Now the only thing is my salvages are going to be down here, but that's okay. I'm going to just put that big pressure before I hit those salvages so I can go strike it right through. I'm going to line this up at 2.5. Okay, and I want to remember we want to make sure we can just see that even at a slant that fabric is underneath that line. You're going to square it off with one of the lines here. This line up here is really where we're going to be the most important because that's our fold line that we had been going off. So you're going to square that right up there. So just make sure you can see your lines, your 2.5-inch line, and make sure that fabric is just at a slant. You can see it peeking through, just so you know it's on top. The line is on top of that fabric. Make sure this line here at the top, see if I can bring this down. Make sure this fold line, you are square, because that's what we've been going off. Now our fabric has been turned around and our salvage is down at the bottom. So you're going to hold again with your pressure. Take your rotary. Now to get through that salvage, you're just going to want to start at the bottom of your ruler. Don't start on the fabric. Start below the fabric when you start coming on, so you're already gliding when you get to it. All right, here I am gliding. Now I'm hitting the fabric, holding my firm pressure, and there I go. Okay, there's one strip, and we'll just continue. Just don't move this one. We know this one's all aligned. Okay, we're going to line this mark up here. This mark up here is where we're going to be guiding off, because that's our straight edge. That's our folded edge and where it's straight. And then what we're going to do, we're going to line up the 2.5 again. Good. The salvage may not be very straight, so as long as you're going off this and your side right now, you'll be good. We've got a bunch of strips made up. That gave us 3 strips for each slice that we made. And then we've got these ones. In no time, you'll have enough to put a quilt together. You can do a nice strip quilt. Hey, thanks for watching. I hope you like this video, and stay tuned. I'll have more videos coming. Please like and subscribe. I'm trying to grow my channel, and every like and subscription means a lot. So thanks so much. Have a great day. I'll see you next time, and remember to keep it simple. Bye.